Hey guys, another video for the Wheels in Japan playlist. What you're looking at there is a Suzuki Wagon R, which is actually, until recently, the highest selling vehicle in Japan. 650cc engine, which means it falls into the Kei car category because it's under 660cc's. So that's the wagon version. But what we're going to show you today is Kei Trucks. And this is a Kei truck. As you can see, not a very big vehicle, but extremely popular and extremely practical in Japan. So you can see the yellow plates on these, that they're often called yellow plate cars as well, because the category of car, the K category of car, is all have yellow number plates basically. So very practical for a number of reasons. One is, of course, good fuel economy. Another one is, as you can see, on narrow streets and laneways, which are really common in Japan, these things are practical. Out in the countryside and in the cities, quite common in the cities to have tiny little laneways that are difficult to get up. So practical for that. Also practical for parking. So if you find little corners where you can park, quite often people will direct you to park your car in some little corner, and anything bigger than that might be hard to get in there. So very practical for parking. The other thing is for registration and insurance, they're cheaper. That's actually a dump truck, that one. Kei truck dump truck. So it actually tilts out the back. So your registration's cheaper, insurance is cheaper, and usually in Japan, most vehicles you actually have to register at the police station where your vehicle is parked. So we showed you this on another video on the Wheels playlist once before, that you have to fill out forms showing exactly where you park your car, whether it's in your front yard or in a car park somewhere or wherever you park your car, and you have to take it to the police station. The police actually come to see where you park your car and approve it, and everybody has to do that for every car in Japan except Kei cars. So if you have one of these yellow plate cars, you don't have to do that. So another good reason to drive them. So they're very, very popular. Unfortunately, outside Japan, quite often these things don't pass crash tests and so on. So there's a lot of countries that won't approve these for import, because obviously, as you can see, the distance between the driver and the front bumper of the car isn't very far, so they don't hold up in crash tests very well. So you have to be very careful when you drive them. It's one carrying gasoline there. So very common for companies to use these, because there's a lot of places where companies have to go to deliver to customers where they just wouldn't get in if they're driving a normal sized vehicle. So these things are really useful for that. There's another one with gasoline. Here's another one with gasoline. So these ones are because these are in the country. These guys are taking the gasoline out to the fields to give to the farmers. There's one with gas bottles in the back. So again, they deliver gas bottles to the customers' houses. So little car's a practical way to do that. So they're everywhere, in all shapes and sizes. They do all sorts of interesting things to them, you know, put the backs on them and so on. There's another one right behind him, look at that. Here's one used for Roadworks. So just practical, doesn't take up a lot of space. These guys, obviously, all they need space for their cones and their sign there. So the little Kei truck was the go for them. That guy can get in, and actually surprisingly roomy inside these things. So the design on the inside is quite good. So quite roomy, surprisingly roomy. So if you're interested to see what they're like to drive in, have a look in the Wheels playlist, have a look at the Wagon R, because basically these are just similar to the Wagon R with just a different body at the back. So if you have a look at the Wagon R, we did a video on that, you'll be able to see what that's like to drive. You know, they'll drive hard all day, 120, 130 kilometers an hour without over revving, really quite comfortable. You know, heaps of headroom in there. Really comfortable vehicles. They're a really good vehicle. First couple of times you drive one, you'll feel a little bit small, but they're just a really practical vehicle. They really are. Great vehicle. And hugely popular. There's that dump truck again. We do like that dump truck. That's pretty cool. It's like a Tonka toy. Gotta love the Kei truck. More videos coming soon.